wherever you are on the planet. This is LVS 17, live video streaming 2017, and I'm honoured to be joined today by Tina. Hello, Tina.
Hello, not David.
Not it. Well, definitely. Right, and we've got an hello from Tish who's saying hello, Stephen and David. David might join us, but he is in actual fact today over in Orlando. So if he joins us, he'll be joining us by mobile. And the thing I noticed, I was chatting to David Burrows last Friday, and I was on Talk Show, and David was on iPhone, and it worked very well.
Yes.
So that's good news. Now, you may have
this morning after the broadcast ended. Actually, Michael Campbell did not realize that our broadcast had ended, so he came into the lobby, and we just happened to still be chatting after the show. And he joined us on iOS, and it worked beautifully. And he said that he was now able to see the comments and everything that he wasn't able to do before.
Yeah, so that's a great step forward, because it means you can send somebody a link to a Be.Live.tv show. They can come on as a guest and take a full part in the show. And the video quality on a phone is as good as we're getting from a desktop, so there's no problem on that score, and the sound's good as well. And we want to say hello to Marky, who we both know. Hi, Marky. Well, we're sort of honoured to be here today because Belive.tv at 3 p.m. Eastern will be announcing something rather special. And Tina, what are your thoughts on what's coming up later today?
I'm really excited. This has kind of been building for me for the last about four months or so. For Stephen, I know for much longer, because you've been involved with Be.Live longer than I have. But even in the short time that I've been here, the progression and the growth of this platform has been just something that's phenomenal. I've never seen anything like it in terms of development and happening as quickly. And not only as quickly, but, you know, a lot of times when you're working with beta, and I've done this for years, they roll things out quickly, but then they have to pull them back because they're rolling them out so quickly. And seemingly they're rolling things out like at an unheard of pace, but then they're stable and they're working, even though we're getting them that quickly.
Tell me about it. I mean, everything seems to have been tested before the beta testers get it.
It does seem that way.
It's the core of it always works. It's only things around the edges which need tweaking at all. And we've been joined by Peter and Peter. Hello, Peter. Good to see you. If you want, I'll put the link up in a minute because I forgot. And well, this is a statement. Peter's saying because he's not on Belive that often. He may need to think about using it. Well,
that's an awesome typo. Yeah. Did you notice he says Be.Live instead of Be.Live?
Well, yes, it's the same. It's the same. Love and life, we interchange them. And he's mentioning Zoom. And I tried Zoom the odd time. But the thing about Be.Live, I mean, we've gone so quickly from one person on screen, which was Q&A, to face-to-face, which is 2 people, and then to talk show, which is what we're on today. And it's 3 people on screen, 10 people in the lobby. And you can switch people in and out of the lobby, can't you? So you've got a sort of 10 people on a guest list, and you just bring them in.
Right. And I know there's a lot of people that are asking for 4 people on screen or even more. Now, I'm not part of the old Blab network, and so I wasn't around for that. But just for me, having you know, been in Zoom broadcasts and places where there are more people on screen, I think it's less productive. I really prefer the 3, maybe 4, and no more than that on screen, because that's really the only number of people that I can host and be a good host for.
It is a question of keeping control, isn't it? Because if you've got several people and you're trying to listen to everybody and everybody cuts into everybody else, I mean, with 3 or 4 people on screen, it's manageable. But once you get beyond that,
the only use that I could see practical use for myself. Now I'm just speaking for myself because I realize other people may enjoy that, the 10 people on screen or however many they want. But for me, the only practical use that I could see beyond 4 people on screen would be for a panel discussion. And then it's still going to have to be controlled. You know, people are going to need to take turns and understand when it's their turn to talk. And because otherwise, you know, and there's a place for this, but otherwise it's just a hangout, which that's fine. If you want to go hang out with a bunch of people and there's not a specific topic you're discussing, that's fine. But that's not typically what I use this platform for. So.
Indeed. And we're on, I'm just making notes of as we go along. I do wish we could copy these from one show to another.
Yeah.
Be handy if anybody's watching. So we're on Be.Live Talk Show. And the first thing about Be.Live Talk Show is that we can bring photographs to the broadcast, and we can change the screen display because we've got 7 screen displays to choose from. And
you should drop me in the lobby so that you can show them the inset, so that if they're doing a slideshow, then they can be the speaker.
I'll bring you back in a moment. Right, so I'm going to go to, there you are. And I'm going to take the heading off so that you can actually talk against a graphic. And I want to say hello to Drew. Nice to see you. We're on, Tina and I. Tina's in the lobby at the moment. Will be joining us again in a second. First thing with photographs is you can either show them full screen and just carry on talking. So you could make it a slideshow and just bringing different slides up and talk in the background against them. And when you want to make a point, you can either go have it in screen, or you can take it equal screens, or you can go full screen. So it's very flexible on the way you can actually display photographs. And I'm going to bring Tina back and we'll talk about the next feature of Talk Show. Now, I just bring the 2 of us back on screen. So that's the first thing, is you can bring slides, pre-prepared slides. The slides come from Facebook, don't they?
Yes. Yes, you have to upload them into an album, and you can set that album to private so that it's not going out to everybody on Facebook, so that only you can see it. But it will still show whenever you display it here. It will show up.
Right. Now, to everybody who's watching, welcome, and we're going to show now the second feature. Now, I'm going to bring up a screen share of the Belive.tv website. And Tina, will you talk us through creating a talk show?
Sure.
Brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to go screen share now. Now, if you are watching, I'm going to take this, hopefully, full screen. So the only thing that's on the screen is what I can see. But I'm now going to switch over to the Belive.tv screen. And I'm going to say that you can do a solo or face-to-face, which is the interview, or the talk show. And at this point, I'm going to let Tina describe, and I will control the cursor.
Okay, so you will select talk show, obviously, if that's the type of show that you want to produce. You'll type in the title of your show, and that can be whatever you like. I will say, if you're a little bit more descriptive with your titles, if you have a show title like this is LVS 17, rather than just putting the title, put a title and a description. So mention the guests that are going to be on and that kind of thing. You'll get more viewers that way. And then you put your email in. And usually that has it. For me, it saves that, so I don't have to type it in. I just click on it and it puts it in there. And then underneath that is just you put your title down there again. And sometimes you can just put, rather than being descriptive, you could put LVS 17 episode, whatever. And so that's just to keep track on the back end of the shows that you're doing. And then beneath that,
Trying here, I apologize.
to finish that.
Right, thank you. Okay.
And then you can click on the create scheduled broadcast if you'd like to schedule this out. If you can schedule, that's always a good idea. Just it's a great way to promote the show and get more people interested, so they can click on once you put this out there, they can click a button to have a notification come to them when you go live. And so just schedule that with the date and the time, and you will use your time zone. So you don't have to worry about other people's time zones, because the Facebook and Be.Live automatically shows them their own time zone. So they'll be viewing on their time zone, you'll be viewing on yours, but you use your time zone to set this, and then it's automatically set to go to all the other time zones. So the next thing there, and I can't read that, so this I think is to select your cover photo, your tile, right? So you can select an image, and then you can see how that shows up. I wish that it showed as a square instead of just a little circle, or as a rectangle rather, but it doesn't. It shows up as a circle. So keep in mind, whatever image you're using, it's going to be the center part in a circle that shows up. And as you can see, Stephen has planned it perfectly, because it shows Stephen and David right there in the middle. And then next you can add a custom logo. Now this is all in the talk show feature that's coming up. Not everyone has this yet. Stephen and I are beta testers, but after 3 p.m. today, our understanding is that this will be available to everyone on a 14-day free trial. So you'll get to play with it. You can select your logo, and you can have more than one. It shows just 2, but you can actually take one of those off and select another logo. It just saves 2 of them at a time. After that is, what is this one? Is this add custom?
Add a custom frame.
Frame. This is the frame. Okay. I did this morning.
Okay.
And so my understanding is, and it tells you, Stephen, I can't see it and I can't remember. Is it 1280 by 720? It
is 1280 by 720, a transparent PNG file.
I created one this morning for the show that I did for Be.Live in 5. And you can create like an actual frame so that it's a rectangle frame that goes around the whole thing. I chose just to do a border at the top and a border at the bottom. And so this is just so that you can brand the broadcast.
Okay. Yep. So you've got, it's up to you how much you block off of the screen. You can take the top and the bottom and the sides.
Yeah. And you really just have to play with it, I think. And see, because you are cutting off some of your space that you have there. So you're cutting off some of the top and some of the bottom and some of the sides, depending on how you do it. So just keep in mind that gives you smaller space for your broadcast to appear in. And you just make it transparent. And so your broadcast appears there in the center of all of that, of whatever you created. And then below that is select the page where you want to broadcast to. Or the group. So you can go to a group, you can go to your personal profile or business page or group. And so you just make that selection. And then after that, we have another new feature. So the frame is brand new. We hadn't even seen that before today. The beta testers had not. And then you can select custom colors. And what this changes is the color of the agenda and of the comments. And so if you have a logo, like for Stephen, he may choose to use the blue and the white that's in the LVS 17 logo. And I selected an orange and a blue for Belive.tv. Simply, instead of using the orange and the red, I chose a blue because I had the frame in red and I didn't want the red over the red. So that's the reason I selected that. But if you go to the hex codes there, if you don't know hex codes, if you're not familiar with that, and if you've never done web development, you're probably not. But if you click on that, Stephen, if you can click on there, it brings up a color. It's not a wheel, but that's what I always think of. But you can move your cursor around once you've selected blue. If you move your cursor around inside the blue, it changes the shades, and then it gives you the hex code. If you want to know, if you don't know the hex code colors of your logo, and those are the colors that you're wanting to use, then there's a tool, many tools actually, but there's a color selector tool that's actually a plugin for the Chrome browser that will allow you to just take a little, it's just like a little dropper tool. So you just click on your logo and it'll tell you the colors of your logo. So there's a way to figure that out if you need to. But yeah, I mean, the colors are unlimited, right? So it's any color that can show up on the web, you can select here just by playing around with that and sliding it around, you'll figure it out. And then it gives you a nice little a display, so it actually shows you what it's going to look like. So that's what Stephen's will look like. It's the blue that you see there with text.
I've got to be honest, I could spend hours doing this. I don't want to create a broadcast. I just want to get the colours right.
And you can. I played around with colors for a little bit this morning, but I knew that I wanted to use our logo color, so that narrowed it down some for me. But yeah, I mean, you can really use any shade of any color that you can imagine, and so then you have all of your settings set for your broadcast, and you would create. At the bottom it says create broadcast, and once you select that, it takes you to the next page, and your broadcast is ready to go. Unfortunately, if you've selected a time, or not unfortunately, as it should be, if you've selected a time to broadcast at a later date, there's not anything else that you can do. It will not let you start a broadcast until the time that you've set if you decide to schedule one. If you've not scheduled it, then you can go live at any time. Stephen selected a nice eggplant color there for his for his lower thirds and his comments.
Right, and then when you do go into the broadcast, now remember, if you create a broadcast in advance, you can go there at any time and you can set up your agenda. You can work out everything that you need before the show without going live.
Yeah. And it saves that, because that was a question someone asked me in one of the mentoring. There's like, so if I go in and set all this stuff, when I close out the browser, is that going to disappear? And no, it doesn't. It stays there.
Yeah. Indeed. And as Tina said, I can't start the broadcast for 1 day and 39 minutes. Now, the point about that, you must start a broadcast within 10 minutes of when you said you would. You can't start it before, and you can't start it 11 minutes after. Now, that's not a Be.Live restriction. That's a Facebook restriction. If you miss your time slot, just like an aircraft at an airport, you've got to wait. There's no chance, but there isn't any chance. You've got to abandon that flight and set up a new show. That's the only way to do it. But other than that,
unfortunately, it's really easy to set up a new show. The only thing is you will have lost, at that point, you will have lost what's on your agenda. You'll have to transfer it over to your new broadcast.
And this is the panel behind Talk Show, which is what we're using today. I'm just going to close that. You can see the 3 slots at the top. That's where you can have people live on screen. And hopefully I'm going to try this. If I break it, I'll be back on the main screen in a moment. But I can connect my camera and go up to the broadcast. It gives a 3-second countdown. I'm now live on 2 screens, potentially. And you bring in guests by sending the link down there. Now I'll come back now, but that's talk. Basically, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I'm still here. We've had great fun. I mean, Talk Show came out in March. It's gone through several different versions, but with the slide share, and we've just shown with the slides and the screen share, which we've just shown you, it is a very powerful system, isn't it?
With the screen share, you can do, if you only have 2 people or 1 person, in your screen share, then you can do just like you did with the photo, and that is to put yourself inset in the screen and speak over your screen share, which is what I do I have a nonprofit client, and they do training, and he has a PowerPoint that I just pull up on Google Drive. So I pull it up in Google Slides, and I actually produce the show. So he's the one in the inset presenting the items on the slide, and I control the slides and things from the back end. So it works beautifully.
And hello to Jamie, who's catching up. And we are on Be.Live Talk Show. And the thing to watch out for today is Be.Live Weekly with Jeff Adams at 3 p.m. Eastern, when all will be revealed. We're sort of teasing you now with some of the things that we know about, but I'm sure there might be the odd surprise. So tune in, because I'm tuning in tonight.
I'm tuning in because I'm positive that there's something more that we don't even know yet, because we've been kind of teased by Jeff that there's something else coming. So,
well, Yeah, I think it's going to be quite a show. I think we're going to be seeing Jeff and Joel and Rachel and Molly on screen. Well, not all at the same time. They've only got 3 seats, so they'll have to juggle people about. But
Yeah.
all the everybody who does a Be.Live show, and Rachel as well, will be on the screen tonight. So if you want to meet the Be.Live on-air team, then tonight is the night to catch it, because all your favorite people are going to be live on screen at some point during the show. And I'll be talking about something towards the end of the show, which is dear to myself and to Tina, and that's Be.Live in 5. We're expecting that there will be quite a number of people watching Jeff's show tonight who've not seen Belive.tv before. So we are Be.Live in 5, and we're an official Be.Live TV initiative. And it all started with our Udemy course, didn't it, which you and I put together?
Yes, we did, and it's done phenomenally well, the Udemy course in particular. And I think that we've done such a good job of explaining the platform and how to use it that people don't necessarily need mentoring following, but we're here if they do.
That did occur to me. I mean, we're very fortunate, and it is a free course. It's on Udemy. It's available to anybody. And Tina and I worked hard to actually get it to where it is. But it does tell you how to go live on Be.Live, and it covers your camera and your microphone, and it covers speed tests, and it covers how to use the agenda and the comments. And I want to say good morning to John and hello to Corinda, just to show the comments. But we've been nearly at 900 students on the course now, aren't we?
Yes, we do. And I guess, it's good that we did a good job, because I don't know that we could handle 900 students. We would have to get more mentors for sure if we had all 900 of them asking for mentoring. But we've had, just some really great reviews and really good feedback. And people seem to be enjoying the class and adopting the platform, because there have been many people who have come through the course that found us on Udemy and were not aware of Belive prior to that. So I think we've introduced a lot of people to the platform.
I agree. And with the mentors, everybody who's been through the mentorship program has enjoyed the experience, haven't they? I mean, so have we. And we want to give a shout out, because we know that April can't be with us live today.
Yeah.
But this is our big shout out to our friend April Roger, and April has made quite a difference in Be.Live in 5, and we'd like to say thank you to April, and thank you to now Brigetti and David. Now we invited Irene, didn't we?
We did, but she may have her plate full, because we just found out that she has been hired by Be.Live in 5 to be their customer care person. So, and she's a wonderful choice for that, I think.
Indeed, and we wish Irene every success in her new position with Belive.tv.
This is one of the things. I'm sorry. So it's so exciting to me to be part of Belive, because we're not only seeing the development side as beta testers, but we're seeing this wonderful community that's blossomed because of the care that's gone into taking care of the beta testers and providing such things as mentors for the community so they can grow. But we're also getting to see the business side of this grow. And so we're getting to see, interns come in and work on things. We're getting to see people getting hired for this company that I can only imagine is going to be a huge success, because, we use lots of different platforms. And while we enjoy other platforms, I think Belive by far is at the top of their industry in the service that they provide.
Yeah. It's a sense of involvement for everybody. I mean, there are nearly 1,500, going on 1,500 members of the Members Group. As we just said, nearly 900 people on our Udemy course. The amount of involvement from everybody is fantastic. And when we look at those figures, that's the tip of the iceberg.
Absolutely.
Because not everybody wants to join the group. But if you do, it's a great place to be. And a comment from John. I don't know, have you seen the comment?
Oh, yes. Wonderful, John. So happy to hear that. And we love to, John, who was your mentor? Oh, he went through Be.Live in 5. I'm not sure if he's had a mentor yet, but our mentors are wonderful. And, it was easy to select and to find mentors. And we have lots of people already that are on a list that want to be mentors as this grows, and we need to add people. This community is so giving of their time and information. It's just, it's very interesting to see, because a lot of us are in the same or in similar industries, and there's just not that kind of cutthroat competitiveness going on. There's a lot of support instead. So April was John's mentor.
Oh, there we are. That speaks for April. Is just awesome, and she'll see the recording later, and we truly mean that. We're grateful. And a point from Robert. We should get some stats from them, like average amount of Be.Live broadcasts in a month.
Yeah.
Now, do you get an email from Be.Live?
I do not.
Have you ever had an email? Oh, right, okay. I think they do release those stats, Robert. I'm not sure how widely, though, but they do keep that information, and we know how many people are actually using the system. So we'll chat about that behind the scenes and come back to that one. Take it under advisement, as we say.
Right. Yeah, I can't imagine that they would not want to share that, and maybe they will begin to share that publicly now that they're ready to make this. They're ready to move forward with things. But I know, just from being involved in social media and seeing the number of people that I see go live every day using this platform, I know those people are not part of the Be.Livers group. So I know that that's just the tip of the iceberg, that people don't get involved in groups. And the number of people that we've seen on Udemy, a large portion of those are not people that we know from the Be.Livers group. So
that's true. We're sort of bringing people. Be.Live is at the center, but you've got the Facebook group, you've got Be.Live in 5, you've got the Udemy course. So it's just growing and expanding, and we'd like to be part of that. And like to say hello to Kapil. Now, for those of you, brilliant. For those of you who've just joined us, we're talking about Be.Live TV updates, which will be fully revealed, because Tina and I think there's something else up Jeff's sleeve for tonight, for this afternoon. So Be.Live Weekly at 3 p.m. when all will be revealed. But what we can tell you is that for every existing Be.Live user, there is a trial of talk show, which is where we are today. And just to show you talk show, it is, I'm going to share my desktop again, and I think I can do this without moving. Let's just try. This should be good. And I'm going to put that full screen. So this is the talk show trial, and you can see behind the scenes here, you can see the comments from Kapil that came in a moment ago. You can see my agenda. You can see Tina and I on screen. There's space underneath for up to 10 people to join. So you can create a fantastic sort of broadcast with this software. I mean, people were asking me earlier today, could you actually do a webinar?
Absolutely.
And I think you could.
Yeah.
I think you could.
Yeah, I think that you absolutely could. And like I said, my clients are already using this for training and for presentations. I see lots of applications for this in business and in education. And so I'm really excited to see the different ways that people are utilizing Be.Live. And I'm always trying to think of new ways to use it as well.
Indeed. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, because live is what it is. And by that, I mean, your reach and engagement is going to be so much greater on live than anything else you're doing, because Facebook and even Twitter now are really pushing live content. And so if you can leverage this, live in general is great, but if you can leverage a platform like this that makes the production itself so beautiful, I think people who are just coming into video production that don't have a background in it are really going to be quite spoiled, because they don't know what it took for us in the past to use live and then use some other third-party plug-in, plus a mixer, plus this and plus that, and all these things that you had to juggle to be able to achieve what you can achieve now in this single platform.
That's right. I mean, you'd have to spend thousands, wouldn't you, to get this sort of quality?
Yes, we have.
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. Yeah, but it opens it up. It's an equalizer because it opens up to everybody. I mean, I've got to know a lot of broadcasters over the years, and that they have varying setups. There are people who've got studios, and you walk in, and it's wall-to-wall video and mix. It's just fantastic. But we can, as you said, we can achieve some of that. Not all of it. Don't say we can do all of it, but we can do slide shares. We can do screen sharing. And if I get this right, I can actually, because I forgot to do this. This is why there's nobody with us. Because I forgot to. Give me a moment. I forgot to copy the link. It can happen to the best. It's a live video. And what I forgot to do was to actually put the link to join us into the post. So I'm going to try and catch up in the background and do that. But there are a lot of people on Jeff's show tonight, aren't there? There's quite a cast.
Yes, I think it's probably going to be one of the most exciting shows. I have no idea what's going on in my background, so if you need to mute me for a second while I figure that out, you can.
No,
Thank you. So I have kids home from the summer, and this is something else about live. You know, I can't, unfortunately, I don't have a remote control that mutes the kids. So, I get background noise sometimes. They're pretty good. They know when I go live. I want to say this. I was at Bonnaroo this past weekend, which is a huge music festival. And I come rolling in with basically a cell phone, a MacBook Pro, and a blue snowball. So I have 3 pieces of equipment that'll fit in a backpack that will allow me to do a quality of broadcast on par with the poor guys from the television station that were lugging around 60-pound cameras and, you know, bags and on rollers and things that they just had to carry around. And they, you know, and we were laughing about this with them. They're just like, you know, I wish that they would let us do this because the quality of the production is the same when you're going live. I mean, when you go live to the web only allows you to see up to a certain quality, right? So it's 1080p, and then beyond that, it doesn't matter what you do. So, yeah, they were jealous that, you know, those of us who have smaller operations can produce just as good of quality of a production as they can going live. And I'm not saying they don't go back in the studio and do lots of other additional work when they edit pieces, but as far as going live from the event, the quality of what we were doing was on par with what they were doing, with a fraction of the equipment and hassle that it took to lug all that around at a festival with 78,000 people, and it's about 98 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's we're sweltering in the UK at the moment. I think you mentioned it on your broadcast when you were talking with Corinda.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 30 degrees here, and we're just not used to it, and we can't cope. Right, I've actually put the link in the broadcast now. So if you want to join us, you can just click the link. And if you've got any questions about Be.Live Talk Show and the trial, then please come and ask. We're just doing the teaser today, and Tina did one earlier.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of those today. Leading up to the 3 o'clock,
yeah.
A lot of people are going to be on sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see lots of shows where the Be.Live TV logo has disappeared and been replaced. In other words, there's white labeling going on, where people have got board frames around the screen, where the text is in colors of everybody's choosing instead of the red and white. And there's going to be a lot of experiments going on, especially with the screen share and showing the photographs as well. So it's a great time to start broadcasting. And if you need help, remember Be.Live in 5.
So are we going to have to change our platform a little bit now that talk shows rolled out to everyone? Because right now we're actually our mentoring is for face-to-face and not for talk show.
Yeah, I can see a short mini course coming up. Yeah, I mean, yes. I'm going to update the complete Be.Live.tv course tomorrow for the features that have been released today. But yes, but I think the things that we're covering on the Belive in 5 at the moment, that covers the majority of it, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it does.
Yeah.
I don't think that we have to update it necessarily, because the whole point and the concept behind Belive in 5 is simply to get people going live for the first time. And once they're comfortable with face-to-face, then they, that they can learn the tools. The great thing about Belive is the simplicity of it. So they really have kept it really pretty. The interface is beautiful, and it's simple and self-explanatory. So I don't think people are going to have a lot of trouble adjusting from face-to-face to talk show. But if they do, we're around, and they can certainly help or ask for some additional assistance if they need it.
Indeed, and if we can help, we will. And if we can't do it ourselves, we know somebody who can. We've got access through Irene, and we're also in close contact with Sophia and Daniel of Belive.tv, and we just shout out to them because they run a fantastic team, and it is a team effort.
Well, one of the things that I noticed during my broadcast this morning when I was showing the new features is if you choose to add a frame when you show the titles, now not the agenda, because the agenda lower thirds work fine, but when you're trying to show the people's names, their titles, it actually shows up behind the frame, so you can't see people's names. Now they're aware of that. The folks at Belive are aware, and they are working on it, but they say when this rolls out today that is how it will be until they can address that issue. So they're aware of the issue, and it is being addressed. But today, if you start using this today or in the next couple of days and you notice that, I just wanted people to know that they have been informed and they're aware that that's happening. Yeah. And I have no doubt it'll be fixed soon.
Oh yeah, they're very responsive, aren't they?
They are.
But we encourage you all to catch the show tonight, which, just a reminder, is at 3 p.m. Eastern on the Belive.tv page with Jeff Adams and a whole host of people. And he'll be telling you about the trial of Talk Show and the features that are in Talk Show, which have just been added today. Tina and I are going to test those out extensively over the next few days, so look for us broadcasting more. We're back here tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern for our repurposing show.
Yes, we are.
So
we have our guest is Cara Acetola. Is going to be our guest tomorrow, so we're excited to have her.
She's joining us all the way from?
I don't know where she's at.
All right, okay.
Yeah, I think she's here in the States, but I'm not sure what state she's in. I can't recall.
So she's local. She's local.
Yeah, she's local to me. Yeah, sure. It's a tiny little USA. But she's a rare book dealer, and she uses one of the platforms that we use, and we'll discuss that for repurposing content. And it's really interesting to see. I really like finding people who are in different industries and figuring out how they're not only using Belive and live in general, but how they're repurposing their content and making the most of these live broadcasts. And there's some people who are doing it really well, including Stephen, who's a master at it. I'm learning every day. I mean, the thing is that there are so many ways in which you can repurpose content. And every time Tina and I do a show and we have a guest, we learn things. And that's the magic of these talk show events, is that you can listen to the guests and you can discover things. It's not just about our talking about how wonderful the things we are doing. We're actually talking about sharing knowledge. And that's one of the best uses of Belive. Right. None of us is as smart as all of us, right? So
indeed. Yeah.
If you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find a new room.
True. But this is a good room to join, John, and we look forward to you joining us later in the week. And thank you for watching us today. Right,
yes, and
this has just been a short.
I was just going to say, John let us know that he did his first couple of broadcasts after his mentoring session with April. And so I will be going to check out to see what John's done with his live. And that's something I do with all of our students for Be.Live in 5. I try to go and find them. And even if they're not my student, if they're any of the other mentors have had a session with them. And you'll find this is true if you join Be.Livers as well. We look for each other's things and we support each other. So we will be there in your comments, cheering you on and helping you and being guests on your show and whatever you need to get comfortable using this platform. You will find that in the Be.Live in 5 students group, and you also find that in the Be.Livers group.
Truly. And Be.Live is just awesome. And we're glad to be a part of it. And we're helping everybody to get on Belive.tv. So as a final reminder, then, we look forward to seeing you all later in the week, but more specifically, if you could join us on Be.Live Weekly tonight. And I'll be there. I'll be talking not about Be.Live, but I'll be talking about Be.Live in 5. Because if there are thousands of new people watching tonight, then they need to know about Be.Live in 5, which Tina and I are the admins of and creators of. And we look forward to seeing you all. And Tina, thank you for joining me at short notice. And I just enjoy working together and co-hosting together.
You're welcome.
And hopefully, if you catch the replay, you will have seen Tina give a talk through of what talk show is all about, and we'll put that in the notes as well so that you know where to find that if you want to get to it. And I saw somebody the other day actually using timed notes, so you can click to a certain section of the video.
Oh yeah, you mean the timestamps? Yeah, and all you have to do that is you have to rewatch your video, and this is another great way to repurpose content. So if you will watch through your own video when you're finished, and then in the comment section, you can select areas that you want to discuss. So if, for example, we wanted to point out the point in this broadcast that we're doing today where we are going through the new features using the screen share, then we could find where the timestamp is in the video and then simply type that in. So if it's at 3 minutes and 33 seconds into the video, you type in 3 minutes, 33 seconds, and it automatically links to that. Just like it does on YouTube. You can do this as well on YouTube. So it'll automatically link to that. And of course, out next to that, you're going to want to put what that links to, because otherwise it's just times and nobody knows what that means. But yeah, you can do that. And I'm going to put in the comments of the show, I will put a link to the Be.Live weekly show that's coming up at 3 p.m. so people can find it, because it's on the Be.Live, Facebook.com Be.Live TV app is the page that appears on. So I'll put that in our comments though, so people can find it. Excellent.
So now we have a tradition here on the LVS 17 show that I do the intro and my co-host does the outro.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So, Stephen, tell folks where they can find you.
You can find me. LVS 17 will find me.
And you can find me at Shang Live, and you can find both of us at Be.Live in 5, along with our other wonderful mentors. Be sure to join us at 3 p.m. for the Be.Live Weekly, and you can find that on Facebook.com/Be.Live TV app for an announcement that's going to bring you even more wonderful features. This has been LVS 17. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week, and Tina and I will see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. Take care. And I've pressed, all right.